My people, you're welcome to Prrrr, the basketball analysis. The squad are ready. Teddy and KK and the studio for all the breakdown and analysis. Well, in this playoffs this year, I must say, basketball fans have been spoiled. We've been put into basketball heaven for the NBA playoffs this year. We've been spoiled from the start of the playoffs when Miami took out the Milwaukee Bucks, the number 1 seed. So they've been upsets, and then we saw the legendary matchup of Stephen Curry versus LeBron James. And we've even been spoiled further with an amazing Game 7 where we saw Jason Tatum break the scoring record, scoring 51 on the Philadelphia 76ers. But I must tell you, there's more to come because in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals, Miami Heat versus Boston Celtics, just dramatic everywhere, like drama everywhere. In fact, almost everybody thought the Heat were going to win that game because they led with just two seconds to go. And you know what? I just can't wait to get into the breakdown. But Teddy, being a Boston Celtics fan, watching that game, first of all, what were your emotions like during that game? Because I feel like you experienced everything from fear to, in fact, excitement that you were leading and then panic that maybe you'd have lost.
Watching a Celtic match is not an easy thing because they put you on a roller coaster. So we are leading by 10, we are leading by 15, and they cut it down to 2, and then they come and lead, and then we take charge, and it's like it's up and down. But then you just have to believe that your players can deliver. So that's.
But wait, did you believe you with those 2 seconds?
Okay, so honestly, when Jimmy Butler made those free throws, I thought we were done. I thought we were done because there's nothing more to be done because they'll defend. And there's like,
and they defended well too. Yeah, so the game felt like it was over with just 2.1 seconds to go, and Joe Mazzulla called the timeout. And Charlie, in fact, in timeout, they say nowhere cool because the play was drawn for probably Jason Tatum, but the way he was guarded, it was Marcus Smart that got the ball, shots the 3-pointer, missed, and then there was Derrick White. Now, Teddy, your overall breakdown of the game. How did you see the game go?
First of all, we have to start treating Bam Adebayo just like we treat the Anthony Davis, because it's high time he plays better, because we've
been letting him off the
yes, because in this whole series the highest points he has ever scored is 22 points, and then yesterday he scored 11 points as a player.
Was very bad,
very bad, because Jimmy Butler was cold during the whole time, and then they needed him to be hot, because at least these are the 2 franchise players, the go-to players. So if Butler is not hot, you must be hot. And with a player like Horford is old. You are young. You are stronger than him. You have to be able to bully him, post up on him, score. You can dunk. And the thing is, Bam is one of the most comfortable players, and he's able to shoot mid-ranges when he wants to, unguarded.
In that game, he was missing mid-range shot after mid-range shot.
But you know what? I think he made an adjustment. Joe Mazzulla, I'll credit him for that. Made an adjustment. You see, when Bam is on Horford, and he's banging down on him. Horford is old, so he can't react quickly. He's slow as well. But what he did was that he fronted them with the guards. You see Smart on him in the post area, just to make sure that the other guys will dig in, and then they will make sure that he kicks it out. And one thing that I've realized is that with bigs this time round, when they are in pick and roll action and all the time, and they are not touching the ball in places or spots where they are supposed to score, it makes it difficult for them to shoot. So you see that Butler, David, even in the first series with Golden State Warriors, this guy Sabonis, if they don't touch the ball, it makes it so difficult.
But the thing is, you don't have an excuse.
No, it really affects them, and it slows down their game. So maybe adjustment in Game 7 is that Jimmy will go off the ball a little bit small. Bam gets the touches so that he can get his rhythm going, or else they are not going to feel his presence in the game.
But see, Bam is not the first player to reveal to us as the center position. Other players have played the center position, and they played magnificently. So there's no excuse for him. He has to play better. Whether you are touching the ball off the screen or off the pick and roll, you have to play better. That's
now,
all.
I feel like Teddy has delved deeper into how Miami lost the game. How do you say Celtics won the game? Where do you think they won the game?
I think just by the stroke of the whistle. When they started the game, you could feel the
like
energy.
Boston was ready for this.
Boston was ready. And you know what's funny enough? They led in about 41 minutes out of the 48 minutes that was played. It tells you that the whole game they were dominant. It was just spares that Jimmy Butler had and Gabe Vincent and Caleb Martin and co. And they were able to keep the game a little bit close until fourth quarter when Jimmy was able to keep them going. But you look at the whole game in totality, they were dominant. Boston were very dominant. Jason Tatum,
even at some point, Jaylen Brown was in foul trouble, but they were still able
dominant.
to
you know,
score.
This guy, I call this guy the energy bunny of the team. He's called Grant Williams.
Okay.
When he comes in, yeah.
And I don't know, people who watch basketball, if you've realized, he looks like, do you know Baba Sadiq?
Yeah.
He looks like him. I don't know if you guys have realized it. So when he comes in with that energy, they feed off of him. And then the rest of the team, they get gelling. He had, I think, 1 point or so.
Yeah.
By his presence,
Yeah.
he didn't talk to Jimmy though.
He didn't poke the bed
I
this time
felt
around.
it like at the beginning of the game, you could see that the energy, the way they were playing, you could see that even though they were on the road, they were ready to win the game.
Now in game 6, one thing you realize is for majority of the series, I think Coach Spoelstra was sharing the minutes for the bigs. So we saw Bam Adebayo play for some time, like majority of the time. But we also saw Kodizela also log a lot of minutes. This time around, Kodizela only played 2 minutes. We didn't have Kevin Lutz touch a basketball. So it just tells you that Bam had to play the whole of the time for the Miami Heat to have a chance in the game. So I don't know how that's going to work for him in game 7, but it's very, very interesting. Now, Teddy, with that last final play, we have to go there again. Now, it's just 2.1 seconds to go. And coach calls a timeout. Now, everybody's reaction is, okay, Jason Tatum is going to have the ball. But with the way the Heat defended, it looks like they didn't want Tatum to have the ball. So everybody was kind of boxing out for him. And then eventually Smart got the ball. Now, when Smart shot that ball, it looks like only a few people reacted to the rebound. So I think we'll have to credit Derrick White on there. What do you think happened for the Celtics that really went well for them there? Because Bam Adebayo is their main rebounder and the shot blocker, but he wasn't there at that time.
You see, first of all, I want to address the other people bashing Bam Adebayo for not being there to rebound. Because you see, people act like the players just get on the court and then they are doing whatever they like. You see, we train for moments like this. They have been training for moments like this. When it's 3.1, 3 seconds, whenever it's 2 seconds, they've trained for it. And they called for a timeout. The coach drew his plan, and the plan was box out their center. That was what Bam was supposed to do. You see, when you look at the Miami team, Jimmy is one of the best perimeter defenders, and then Bam also is one of their best.
Very good defenders.
Looking at Strus, looking at Martins. Looking at Vincent, they are not good defenders.
I think Martin is an okay defender, but not
Martin is a scorer. He's not a defender. Apart from these two, the rest are not good defenders. So when Bam is boxing out the other players, don't expect your other players who are not good on defense to do the job. They are offensive players. They're not defensive players. Miami survive on scoring more on the offense
and playing more zone.
Yes, and on the defense, it's like
zones.
If Bam and Butler are not able to score or to defend, they won't be able to stop anyone. So I don't blame anyone, and don't blame Bam, because you see, from where the ball hits and then the direction of the ball, he wouldn't be able to even catch the ball.
So you feel like this was just the
was a hit of the moment
that just favored the Celtics.
When they interviewed Smart, White and Tatum, and then even Brown, they were shocked. They didn't even expect it at all. This was like a hit of the moment, and then we took our chance and then we won. Don't bash anyone.
Now,
to add to what he said, just a quick one. When Ali LaForce wanted to interview Jalen Brown, he said, "No, it's White's game. So I mean, go to White." So he passed it on, and they asked White, and he said, "I was ready." I'm like, "Bro, you weren't ready.
You're ready."
It's just a basketball.
But he was the quickest to react to the ball.
So it was a basketball gods, I think, that were.
Now coming into this game, I know for game 6 at the Kaseya Center, we're all looking at Jimmy Butler, but he struggled for like majority of the game. In the third quarter, around the 4th minute, where he scored about 10 points, that is how it got the Heat going. Now, without Jimmy Butler scoring, we saw the likes of Caleb Martin step up, very, very huge for them. Duncan Robinson with some timely threes, but there were 2 possessions where the Heat were able to draw a play for Duncan Robinson to get 2 wide open threes.
Yeah.
Do you think that was the reason why maybe they lost? Because if he had hit those threes, I don't think we'll be having this conversation.
Basketball is just a make or miss kind of league. And people are like, oh, he should have made this, he should have done that. We don't know what will happen, but we are sure, or we are almost certain
he's the best
when he's wide open, he's going to hit his threes. But who knows? He can go for 4 for 12, 4 for 19. I've seen him go 1 for 22. In 2020 when they play. So it happens in games. And what is your rebound after that? If Duncan Robinson, for the whole game, I felt, I based my predictions or my judgment on how I feel. in the game, he was a little bit slow. Even shots that he could have taken, he was passing them out.
Yeah.
So you felt that maybe if they had given it to maybe Caleb Martin, because he was rolling, maybe he would have taken those shots and be able to make them. And I think it's mental as well. As you get tired, mentality also goes down. So, in a nutshell, I think the basketball gods bless the Boston Celtics. That's all I'll say.
We could pin it that. We could pin the win on that as well, because Jimmy Butler struggled from the field. If I told you Jimmy Butler would shoot 5 for 21, you would have probably said the Celtics will win in blowout fashion. But that didn't happen. Now, moving on to Game 7. There will be a Game 7 at the TD Garden, and it favors the Celtics heavily because there have been 147 Game 7s, and for the home team, they usually win. They've won 111 times, and their away team have only won 36 times. Now, Teddy, for your Celtics, how confident are you that you guys will pick up the victory?
101. I'm so confident. I'm so confident. Look, you couldn't win in your home where your fans were cheering up for you. You see, there were so many Miami fans who were there with their white towels, cheering for you, and you couldn't win. Now you come to Boston. Boston fans are one of the most ruthless, one of the most racist fans in this world. And I don't think the Miami Heat are mentally ready for them.
But Jimmy Butler is usually mentally ready.
He's not ready.
You don't think it's enough?
With the kind of momentum you've given them, a team like Celtics. You see, getting into this series, Tatum made a statement. He said he's one of the best players in the world. And I think Butler is playing to prove to win. He's playing to win. But then Tatum is playing to show that he's one of the best players. And this will go a long way for us, because if we start and then you give us the momentum to lead at our home, I think that the Miami Heat will be in so much trouble. So much trouble.
Look, we've been in this scenario before. Last year, we saw a similar Game 7. Miami Heat versus the Boston Celtics, but it was at the Kaseya Center where the Heat lost. This time around, they are going away. What do you think? Where do you think the game will be won and then lost?
Now, before that, let's give it a historical perspective. Now, this is the 4th time that a team has come back from 3-0 down.
Yep.
Now,
that hasn't been able to complete the task.
But I'll tell you the kicker though. This is the kicker, right? All the teams, the Knicks in 1951, the Nuggets in 1994, the Blazers in 2004, and then now our Celtics. Sorry, I didn't say our Celtics because I'm a Laker fan.
Yeah.
Your Celtics.
Yeah.
They are the 4th team. But of all those teams, it's only Celtics that have Game 7 at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Celtics has.
So usually the teams that come back usually go away
for Game 7. And you know what? The NBA has changed in the sense that previously you had the 2-3-2 format, right? So you play 2 games at home, the other team plays 3 games at home, and the home team takes the next 2. Now it's a 2-2-1-1 format. And I was afraid that Boston Celtics, when they play at home, they look a little bit jittery of late. It's when they go away from home that I feel they are good. But now that they are playing at home with history backing them, know that also in basketball and in the world of sports in America, it's only one team that has come back from 3-0 down. That's the Red Sox. And where are they from?
Boston.
From Boston. And now Boston, Massachusetts. It's a place where, you have to be there this evening or tomorrow morning if it's, Ghana time. And I'm hoping, just hoping that the basketball for God's favor.
You see, one thing I'd like to add is, you see, in the first 3 games where Miami won, they were shooting well. They shot 49.
Speaking of shooting well, and in this series, for the first 5 games, usually the team that shoots the most 3-pointers, in fact, makes the most 3-pointers win. But there was an anomaly in Game 6 where the Celtics only made 10 3-pointers to the Miami Heat 14. But the Celtics were still able to pull off the victory. What do you make of that going into Game 7?
Like I was saying, the first 3 games, the Miami Heat were scoring more threes. But they were shooting 48% from threes, and were shooting 29.
Everybody was hot.
29%.
They actually
from
shot
3.
46% from 3.
And that was you see, Miami coming into this series in the regular season, they're one of the worst offensive teams, and they come into this series, you are shooting well and you want 3. So you see, now that your perimeter shooters are not shooting well, I think Bam should be able to take the load off of them, for them to get their groove back. So when they are shooting and they are missing, now when I get the ball and I'm a shooter, I feel like I won't be able to make it. I look to my center, that is Bam, my second go-to player, to be able to make it for me. And I think going into this match, Bam should put up a game, because if he doesn't put up a game, we have players like Rob Williams and we have Horford, who are our 2 bigs. If you're unable to win the battle it's done. They have to shoot better and they defend
let's not
better.
forget that. I think we should give Bam. We should cut him some slack
Mm-hmm.
in the sense that he's not battling with just Cordizella when he comes.
Yeah.
Freebie. I mean, he doesn't play anything. His impact in the game is very terrible. Now, Bam has to battle
Horford.
and then
Williams.
Williams. And that Williams guy, Charlie, have you look at his body,
Yeah.
like his body type? He's built like a rock. So when that guy is battling you and you are going down with him, tussling,
And it's not like
all the
Horford is
time,
also going to stay in the paint the
No.
whole time. He can go.
you have
the
to
shooters
chase him
too,
on the
yeah.
perimeter. And you know what Miami does a lot? They switch on their guards. Sorry,
Yeah.
they switch Bam on guards.
Guards.
So you see
'Cause
him
he's that
guarding
good.
Tatum. Yeah, because he's that good. So it takes a lot on him. So I wouldn't say for Bam. I think if he gets up 15 and 20 rebounds or 15 rebounds, it's okay. It's for Jimmy to show up in game 7. No more Michael Jordan
Nah,
signing.
yeah.
He has to show up. About the 2-3 previous games he's played,
He hasn't
He hasn't showed
he
up.
has
Now,
to show up. That
for,
Jimmy has to
for
show
the
up.
Boston Celtics in game 6, we didn't see a familiar face, Malcolm Brogdon.
True.
He didn't play, but the Celtics were still able to win. If he doesn't play in game 7, then do you think you guys will still grab the victory?
With the kind of momentum we have right now with his in his absence, I think now Mazzulla has been able to made some adjustments without him. Even though we actually need him in this game, I think the players are more comfortable scoring without him because we have to make hay while the sunshine is shining. we don't have him now, and then now we have to just go into this game, score more threes, and then Tatum, please, I beg you, please be hot for us. I beg. All right.
All right.
You-
But in game 7, he's played
Very, very
Very
well.
well.
This year, he's already
Very, very
dropped 51.
51. But I don't think 51 will happen again on Jimmy.
Well, we are yet to see what will happen.
Miami is in a whole lot of trouble. Starting this series, nobody gave them a dog chance, including myself. Why? Look at their matchups.
Very
That's why
bad.
they play zonal defense all the time. Matching up boot for boot with the Celtics.
They-
Its own
like,
work,
it
its own
doesn't-
work.
it doesn't
On
even
paper-
look
on paper,
winnable.
Even
for
how
them.
they beat Bucks, I was shocked. I was like, how did
How-
this team
Yeah.
beat Bucks?
It was just one of the mishaps.
That's why this guy had to go. He had to go. What's his name? I've forgotten his name.
For the Heat.
But
Bad,
Mike
yeah,
Budenholzer,
he had
yeah,
to
yeah,
go.
true.
You
Yeah.
can't
Because
have
he
that kind
had
of
a clear
performances.
advantage there.
What in the paint, threes, and all that. All they had was
On
Jimmy.
defense even.
But it seems Miami has this sort of culture that whatever the players they have, they know their roles. And I have one statement from Kendrick Perkins. He always say, "Be a star in your role."
Yeah.
So even if you're a bench warmer, gel your team. Be happy when your team scores. That antics they kind of
Yeah.
it keeps the team moving. So
Now, quick one before we leave. Your predictions for Game 7. Who do you think is going to grab the victory? I think I kind of know where you're gearing towards, but quick one. Who do you think is going to grab the victory?
Obviously, the Boston Celtics.
And-
I'm not being biased because I'm a Celtics fan, but then looking at the kind of performance they put up from Game 4 coming in and the kind of momentum, and we've been talking. The Miami Celtics have been talking, and it looks like after the Celtics came back from that win, Butler has been dodging. He has been dodging press conferences, and it's not good because you are the head of the team. And you have to make a statement. When we lost the 3 down, Mazzulla came out. He took all the blame, and then he said we weren't prepared, this and that. And I think it was one of the reasons why the players actually were like, "Oh, he's taking the 4 for us, so we have to play for him." So getting into this game, I think all the gods, everything is favoring the Celtics going to their home, and everything we've seen on paper and on the floor is the Celtics.
Well, Teddy has the Celtics winning. KK, who have you got taking this one?
it's like he said on paper, the Celtics should win. But I'm a Laker fan, and I don't want Boston Celtics to go 18
But
and
18,
17.
yeah.
Man, that would be my friends. They'll be calling you and they'll be all over your phone and they'll be blowing up my phone.
You're sharing
So-
you're sharing a court with the Clippers. There's nothing special about your brothers being hanged.
Interesting. So,
That's funny,
so,
though.
so you want the Heat to win?
My heart says
Heat.
Heat.
But
Don't
your
follow your
mind
heart.
says
Don't follow your
Celtics.
heart.
But if,
Don't follow
if
your
you're a
heart.
fanatic of this game and you know the game well, you know everything
It's
So
just
sure,
favoring the
so
Celtics.
sure.
Now,
But I'm just hopeful.
picking it from both sides, everything looks like it's favoring the Celtics because they even have the best Game 7 scorer of all time. Jason Tatum dropping 51 this year. But the coaching favors the Miami Heat because Eric Spoelstra is experienced. He's been in 7 of Game 7s where he has a winning record. So we'll see how that pans out. Personally, I think the Celtics are going to take this one because they have home court advantage. And Jason Tatum could just play out of his mind. Watch out for Jaylen Brown. Also, next time we are here, we will know who will face the Denver Nuggets in the final. So watch out for for the finals preview. It's been excellent today. I did this with Teddy and KK breaking down the game for you. We'll see you right after Game 7. Stay safe.